Football has produced many great players, legends, icons, heroes. But only one made the world stop. Only one could turn a match into a miracle. Only one could carry an entire nation with his left foot. That man was Diego Maradona. Born on October 30th, 1960 in Villa Fiorito, a poor suburb of Buenos Aires, Argentina, Maradona's childhood was far from easy. The streets were rough, the homes crowded, and opportunities were scarce. For Diego, football was never just a game. It was survival. It was escape. Every kick, every flick, every pass was a statement. He belonged to something greater than himself. His ball was his voice, his way of saying, "I am here. I will be heard." From an early age, his talent was impossible to ignore. At just 10 years old, he was signed by Argentinos Juniors. He dominated children much older than him, leaving coaches and spectators alike stunned by his balance, vision, and creativity. Diego was not only skilled, he was fearless. He played with a heart bigger than his body, charging past defenders who barely knew how to stop him. By his teens, Maradona was a national sensation. He made his debut for Argentina at 16, dazzling crowds and crushing expectations. He carried a nation's hopes on his shoulders, and yet he remained at his core a boy from the streets. Every goal he scored carried not just skill, but the story of his life: struggle, perseverance, and unyielding passion. Europe called, and he answered. FC Barcelona, one of the world's giants, signed him in 1982. But Europe was a different battlefield. Injuries, pressure, and the unforgiving eyes of the media tested him like never before. Violent tackles, contentious refereeing decisions, and a Copa del Rey final that ended in chaos marked his time in Spain. Yet in every moment, Maradona's brilliance shone through. When he had the ball, the game changed. It was as if he were rewriting the laws of physics on the pitch. Then came Napoli, a club and city desperate for hope. Diego didn't just play for Napoli, he transformed the city itself. Naples, long ignored by Italian elites, found pride and identity in their team through Maradona. He led them to 2 Serie A titles, a Coppa Italia and a UEFA Cup, achievements that seemed impossible before he arrived. In southern Italy, Diego was worshipped. Streets were painted with his number 10. Children learned to dribble not just to play football, but to emulate him, to touch the magic he carried. But it was 1986, in Mexico, that the world would remember him forever. The FIFA World Cup became Diego Maradona's stage, his canvas. He scored 5 goals, assisted 5 more, and became directly involved in 10 of Argentina's goals, a record-level impact for a single player. The quarterfinal against England was the match that defined a generation. Minutes into the game, Maradona's hand guided the ball into the net, the hand of God. Controversial, audacious, unforgettable. But he was not done. Moments later, he picked up the ball in his own half and embarked on a solo run that would later be voted the goal of the century. He dribbled past half the opposing team, weaving through defenders with grace, speed, and an almost supernatural vision. In those few minutes, Maradona embodied the full spectrum of human brilliance: cunning, skill, joy, and defiance. Argentina went on to win the World Cup, but the match against England became the stuff of legend, immortalized in the hearts of fans forever. Yet genius carries its own weight. Maradona's career was marked by highs and lows, by adoration and scrutiny. Fame brought not only glory, but immense pressure. Addiction and personal struggles shadowed him, and his international career ended abruptly in 1994 after a failed drug test at the World Cup. The same hands that lifted trophies were sometimes caught in the shadow of human weakness. Off the pitch, Diego's life was no less dramatic. Relationships, financial struggles, health crises, and relentless media attention followed him relentlessly. But through it all, he remained human, flawed, passionate, and full of life. He laughed, he cried, he fought, and he loved. To millions, he was more than a footballer. He was identity, rebellion, hope, and the embodiment of a dream that refused to die. Even in death, his legend remains alive. Maradona passed away in 2020 at the age of 60, leaving behind a world that still remembers him not just as a player, but as a symbol of everything football can be: wild, beautiful, emotional, and unforgettable. Every young player dreaming in the streets of Buenos Aires, every child in Naples who learns to dribble feels his presence. Every football fan who has ever marveled at the ball at someone's feet knows what it means to witness magic. Maradona was not perfect, but football was never meant to be perfect. It was meant to be felt. And no one made the world feel football like Diego Maradona. His story reminds us that greatness is not measured by the absence of flaws, but by the courage, passion, and joy we bring to our craft. Diego Maradona will always be more than a name. He will always be the embodiment of football's soul: wild, beautiful, untamed, and unforgettable. His legacy will endure, not just in trophies or records, but in every heart that has ever been captivated by the beautiful game.